What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Not Dead Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Cybermania, along with my other host, Dustin. Dustin, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's going on?
Hey, so last week, ladies and gentlemen, we covered WrestleMania 15 and all of the events surrounding it. And this week, to round out the month of September, we're going to talk about a very special edition of Smackdown that took place on September 13th, 2001. And why was that a special edition of Smackdown? Because it was a live episode of Smackdown when they were normally taped in that day. And why was it live that day? Well, because as you know, the day that they were supposed to tape Smackdown, well, America came under attack, and the September 11th attacks happened. Dustin, let's start off with the most obvious question, man. Where were you when this happened?
I was a freshman in high school.
A freshman in high school. Wow. Okay. Did they come over the intercom or?
It had happened between class change, and as we were walking into class, they had it on the TV. Because
Did
at that
you
point, it
did
was
you freak
already
out, or were
established.
you just like?
Well, at that time, I was kind of like, "What the hell's going on? What is this?" And then it slowly started sinking in the longer you watched it.
Yeah. For me, I I was in third grade when September 11th took place. That's how young I am. I was in third grade when September 11th happened, and I remember over the now my I was in third grade, so I didn't know what a terrorist was. I thought they said tourist and all that stuff. They never said terrorist over the intercom or anything like that. But I remember when they said that the some planes were flown into buildings. They didn't say crash. They were very careful about the terminology that they used because they were in elementary school. But I was in class and they said over the intercom that a plane has flown into one of the World Trade Centers, and my innocent mind thought, "Oh, okay, World Trade Center is some sort of special airport." And so then they announced. So then my teachers were a little bit confused as to what was going on. They didn't react at first. They were just kind of like, "Huh, okay, well, we'll have to stay up to date on that." And then a couple of minutes later, they announced that, hey, another plane has flown into the other World Trade Center, and my teacher started crying and freaking out, and I was in special ed, and I had three teachers in one class, and one of them was the actual teacher, two of them were paras, which is just like teacher assistants, and the teacher had to walk out of the classroom because she was freaking out so bad. And so the teacher's assistants, the paras, they had to basically kind of take over while she collected herself. Uh, and then I remember later that day, my mom, she came and she picked me up early from school that day, and we went home. And she's like, just go in the basement and watch TV. I don't know why I got picked up early that day. I just did, and I was told to go home. I was going home, and I was watching cartoons when I should have been in school, and that was just a. I mean, that's what I remember from that. Um, so yeah, that's kind of, and I. So I don't really remember understanding what happened until my parents kind of sat me down later that evening and they explained what was happening, and it was a little scary. It was not a little scary. It was very, very, very scary. So yeah. Um, but let's talk about this show. WWE. They. I don't know if you ever listened to something to wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. Have you, Justin?
No.
He has a whole episode, like a whole podcast episode dedicated to this September 11th SmackDown episode, and I recommend anybody go out there and listen to it. It's very good. He talks about the decision making that went into making this show happen, and a personal story of his too. But basically, he went to the building. People, they were wrestlers that were traveling or that were okay. Hang on, I'm stuttering here. Let me try this again. So the Raw before, so the Monday night before the 9/11 attacks, September 10th, they were in. They weren't in Houston. They were in San Antonio, and they were flying to they were traveling to Houston to do the Smackdown taping, and that's when the 9/11 attacks happened. And so the building told WWE officials, "Hey, we're not doing the show tonight with all this stuff happening in America right now. We're closing down. We're shutting down. We're shutting everything down. We're going up. We're It's a state of emergency. We're shutting everything down. There's no show tonight, and we'll have people at the building to tell the wrestlers, "Hey, we're not doing the show. We're get in contact with people," and and yeah, it was very very weird, and then I guess it was Vince who made the official call to do the live episode of SmackDown.
Yeah, it was Vince kind of capitalizing on it. I mean, if you look at the pandemic we're going through now, I mean, he kind of capitalized on that too with
Yeah.
having a live audience. You know, he was the first to
Hey, and
have a live audience. He was the first to have a live audience after the 9/11 because most of the major sports had shut down.
yeah, yeah. And by the way, real quick on the COVID thing, shout out to all the wrestling promotions who stayed afloat during this COVID pandemic. WWE, AEW, nobody really, those two shows specifically, those two companies, they didn't really miss a single week. Like they went from 1 week of crowds to the next week pandemic, and they just kept continuing on. They didn't stop for nothing. Um, they did it without crowds.
I truly think Vince McMahon, if there's a zombie apocalypse, Vince McMahon would have a show going.
That's right. Hey, the zombie. Hey, he had zombies at one of his pay-per-view events this year. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I just see Vince. He just see. I mean, which he's a billionaire, and that's the reason why is he sees money in it, so he's going to capitalize on it.
yeah, and yeah, yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. I mean,
No, no,
it's
no, 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 not at all. So let's get into this show, man. Um, they suspended storylines for this show,
right.
basically, which is fine for a special episode. And by the way, I went back recently and I watched Lillian Garcia's rendition of the national anthem that she performed on this show. Damn it,
One of the
dude!
best
It's
out there, in my
oh my
opinion.
god, the very best, if anything.
I mean,
My
it
god,
still to this day gives me
dude, it
slight
got me.
goosebumps
I
for it.
was I was bawling like a little baby. So yeah, she did really good. Um, and I don't think there was a dry eye on that stage after she performed. I think even Austin was choked up. Uh,
Oh no, yeah, it was definitely well timed. It was perfect. I don't see how you could have made it any better than what it was.
no, not at all.
Um,
No,
so yeah, they suspended the storylines, but they did have some exhibition live wrestling matches.
which were not bad matches either.
No, they
Um,
were decent, and in the same time, I mean, I understand why he was doing it. It was a way to help bring everybody back, because like what everybody says, September 12th, the United States was the most powerful nation in the world with the amount of people that was truly united at that time. And it was kind of weird if you followed the storylines, but I mean, knowing what was happening in the real world, you could understand it. That it was kind of weird to see that, the wrestlers that you were known to hate each other are actually, united, and it was like,
coming together, yeah.
I get it.
Hey, and before we get into the matches, actually, there's one other thing I want to talk about. It's a big thing that everybody has to mention. the wrestlers were doing the interviews about their thoughts about 9/11, and they were going out of character. And the one that everybody talks about is Stephanie McMahon. I don't know if you know where I'm going with this, Dustin. Judging by that laugh, I'm guessing you do. She compared the September 11th attacks to her father getting, or her father's uh, drug stuff in the 90s. The lawsuit, the drug lawsuit, the steroid scandal. They, she
She
compared she compared 9/11 to the steroid scandal, which
she's never been one to think before she speaks. I mean,
no,
let's
no,
just call it what it is. I mean,
eh,
she's never been one to think before she speaks.
no,
And I mean, yeah, I get where she was. It was a hard time for her, but the the comparison I think was way off. I don't think she meant ill will toward with it, but I just don't think that was the right time and place for that.
yeah, no, I agree. It definitely wasn't the time nor the place, and I get that she's trying to link the tragedy to her own personal experiences, but it wasn't the time or the place. You
Yeah,
know,
there's not a tragedy that would really
I
link
I
September 11th attacks to anything.
yeah, I personally enjoyed Ivory's speech. And maybe it's because I was one of the kids that she was kind of talking to. Because she mentioned that she was talking to the young children at that time. And I was a young child at that time. I was, in 2001, I think I was 8 years old. So, yeah. Well, I was 8 years old in 2001. Wow, I'm old now. Anyway, uh, Um, yeah, so let's get into these matches. We kicked off the show with the Hardy Boys defeating Lance Storm and the Hurricane in 3 minutes and 18 seconds. And none of these matches, by the way, I'm going to say this, none of these matches are going to be, like, memorable at
Yeah, no,
all.
it was just they were just there. Like I said, they were exhibition matches, and they were just there to kind of for those few minutes try and take your mind off of what had happened. To kind of let you sit back and escape from reality, if you will.
Yeah, did you want to give your opinion on all these matches, or did you just kind of want to go through them and whatever?
Well, yeah, we can just kind of go through them because, like I said, there was no real significance to any of them.
Alright. So then, in that case, Hardy Boys defeated Lance Storm and a Hurricane in 3 minutes and 18 seconds. A non-title hardcore match, or a non-title match, the WWF Hardcore Champion RVD defeated Spike Dudley with Molly Holly in 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Chris Jericho defeated Christian in 2 minutes and 18 seconds. There was a World Championship match on this show, and it was The Rock defeating Sean Stasiak to retain the title in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Three
See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, there was real. I think those matches were basically just fillers between the
interviews.
the superstars. Yeah, the superstar interviews,
Yeah,
and I think they served well.
they did.
Like I said, that there was nothing real spectacular,
It was
memorable about them. It was like I said, it was more or less just the filler between the interviews.
yeah. It wasn't about the storylines. It was about, hey, let's just get out there. Let's just kind of take their minds off. Let's get back to work. The
Yeah,
the the,
try
the, the president said, "Let's go back to work. Let's go back to work." You know,
let's as
let's
normal because if we stop, then the terrorists got what they wanted.
right. And Stacy Keibler was in Sean Stasiak's corner for that match, by the way. What a great valet.
Yeah, what a leg! I mean, what now?
A valet?
What legs?
Both. Um,
10 foot long legs, but hey,
yeah, yeah. APA defeated X Pac and Albert, aka X Factor, in 3 minutes and 7 seconds. Booker T defeated Big Show in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Lita defeated Ivory in 3 minutes and 7 seconds. And I believe this was, no, it wasn't, I'm sorry. A 6-man tag match. Tess and the Dudley Boys defeated Scotty 2 Hotty, William Regal, and Tajiri with Tori Wilson in their corner in 4 minutes and 22 seconds. And then in the main event, Kurt Angle defeated Rhino in 4 minutes and 58 seconds. And there was a dark main event, and I hope that somebody could find it on YouTube or something. If you can, hey, put the link in the description down or in the comments down below. It was The Rock versus Stone Cold to close out the whole show in the dark show main event. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the times and where everybody was at that point, I think it was a decent show. It kind of opened up to a lot of people, and at that time, yeah, the wrestling matches were very short. But like I said again, it was a filler, but it was also more or less just trying to get your toes back to getting wet again.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like, we had this big thing that's changed the way people see the world now, and it was like, let's just kind of give them something, the fans in attendance, something to cheer about, something to get excited about.
Yeah.
And then in that moment, and they're cheering, they're not actually thinking about it. So I mean, it was kind of a relief.
Yes. Absolutely. And I know what everybody's going to think. So that was the September 11th or the 9/11 tribute show from WWF Smackdown, and I know everybody is thinking here as we're closing out this podcast. Uh, what are your thoughts on Extreme Rules, Dustin, and Cybermania? Well, I'll tell you what, you guys, you're going to get an extra show from us this week. Uh, Dustin, you good on Tuesday, bro?
Yeah.
All right. Tuesday, you're going to get a special episode where we're going to discuss all the goings on in pro wrestling. You're not going to want to miss that episode, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, if you like this video, or if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Hit the notification bell if you so you can get updates whenever we upload new content. We upload new content weekly. And if you don't subscribe to us, Rikishi will come to your house and give you the stink face.
Stink face.
Stink face all day. Yeah. He'll come early in the morning. I'm talking 6 a.m. He'll be there. And he will not leave until 11 o'clock at night. So he will be there all day. You're going to have to feed him while he's giving you the stink face. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's so you better subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you all on Tuesday. He's Dustin. I'm Cybermania. We're signing out, folks. Good night.